Good morning. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Andrew with today's announcements.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 8th, and it's a green day. Beta Technologies will be back tomorrow with their flight simulator. This is an awesome opportunity to experience what flying a plane is like. If you would like a 15-minute time slot during your study hall or free block, or immediately after school, stop by the headmaster's office to secure a spot. Attention seniors, we will meet in Fuller Hall tomorrow morning for a brief meeting to vote on Spirit Week themes. Please report to your chapel seats by 8 a.m. Please bring your laptops to vote on the themes. Remember, please bring your laptops to vote on the themes. Juniors and seniors, Lynn University, University of Maine, and Thomas College are on campus today for a visit. Please see Naviance or Mrs. LaBounty for details and to register. Be sure to check in with your teacher before attending. Attention 2025 Southeast Asia Service Trip participants. This is a final reminder to submit your application to Dr. Sayrath in the Science Department or Mrs. Laura Gary in the Morse Arts Center by tomorrow. Attention senior student athletes. The National Interscholastic Athletic Administrator Association recognizes 10 scholar athletes from the state of Vermont each year. Criteria includes playing 2 or more varsity sports and the achievement of one of the following: minimum of B+ average, rank in the top 25% of your class, ACT score of 24, or an SAT score of 1100. The application deadline is October 18th. See Mr. Rainville for more information in the application instructions. A reminder that Women Can Do attendees need to meet with Mrs. Murphy today after school in Streeter 208. If you cannot make the meeting, please stop in to see Mrs. Murphy before the end of the day on Wednesday. This is a reminder to answer the brain teaser and guess that hilltopper on the bulletin boards outside of Student Life. Winners for this month will be announced on October 25th. Join the Outing Club on a fall rock climbing excursion this Sunday, October 13th. We will leave Brantview Drive at 9 a.m. and will return by 2 p.m. Go to Student Life to sign up or see Mr. Holden. Dare to explore. Get your sweet tooth on and do good for the community. Don't you love when life lets you do good for yourself and the world all in one tasty snack? It is so easy. Maybe you want to get several snacks at the Eckel Advisory Bake Sale today in front of the library from 2:45 to 3:30. Everything is $1. Bring cash and your sweet tooth. Attention students. Here's your weekly reminder that the homecoming dance will take place next Saturday after a football team wins the big game. Semi-formal plus attire is recommended, so get your favorite dress, button-down shirt and tie, and meet us in the alumni gym from 7 to 10 p.m. Kevin Costner's movie Waterworld, when adjusted for inflation, is the biggest box office flop of all time. In sports, quarterbacks Johnny Manziel and Ryan Leaf both had high expectations before their careers flamed out in weeks. A public opinion poll in recent weeks has many expecting that Bronny James will meet a similar fate in the NBA. If you are one of those people that take pleasure in finding in things flaming out, please bring cardboard next week for the Spirit Week bonfire. Happy birthday today to Hayden D'Agostino, Elizabeth Mason, and a special happy birthday to Natalie Gaffori from her advisory. Happy birthday. Today we have girls golf at the Vermont State Championships, JV varsity volleyball at Essex at 4:30 and 6. Please dismiss the team at 1. Varsity and JV boys soccer at South Burlington at 4:30. Please dismiss the team at 1. And JV football versus Essex at 6. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
And just a couple of late announcements. Varsity field hockey fell 3-1 to U32 at their final home game of the season.
Their lone goal was scored by Sylvia LaPlante off a strong pass from Grace O'Malley, who dribbled low into the circle and passed across the goal. Congratulations to all the seniors who celebrated their senior recognition night. Nice job, Hilltoppers. And girls varsity soccer lost to Essex 1-0, and the JV team tied Essex 1-1. Dee Dee Roy converted a penalty kick to score the goal. In the net, Willoughby Heath had 9 saves, and Maya Barney had 6 saves. Congratulations. And not only do the seniors have a class meeting tomorrow, juniors do as well. They are meeting at 8 a.m. In the gym. You're to sit with your advisory, and sophomores, you also have a class meeting. So bit of housekeeping there. A reminder that any cash or food donations for the Walk for a Healthy Community need to be turned in by Thursday, October 10th, unless you've made other arrangements with me. So please make sure you're thinking about that, and as we look toward wrapping that up. Our tower is looking almost full. This morning we have 2 guests with us in chapel. Last spring I received an email from our first guest. Along with other folks, then junior Lily Chase invited me to attend a fair she put together as part of her work in Miss McGarvin's Human Services class. What I saw when I attended the fair was nothing short of incredible. Lily's passion, energy, and dedication made a huge difference for expectant families and the professionals who care for them. I asked Lily that very day to speak in chapel this year because I wanted each of you to see and hear that so much is possible with each opportunity that you have here at the Academy. It's my privilege to welcome Lily to chapel this morning to tell you more about how she took an assignment in a class and turned it into so much more. Folks in Fuller, please give a warm welcome to senior Lily Chase.
All right, so good morning. My name is Lily Chase, and I'm a senior here at the Academy. I'm here to talk to you this morning about an opportunity that I had and a risk that I took and the benefits of that risk. So let's start with the opportunity. All my years here so far at the Academy, I've taken Human Services courses with Mrs. McGarvin. I grew to love these classes as they gave me a chance to venture out to learn and adapt to what I wanted my career path to be. As I was able to seek out opportunities, I learned my interest was in the birthing field, which is helping families grow. I was able to intern with local partners like NVRH and Empowered Birthing with Diantha Jones, who is now a science teacher here. Mrs. Jones gave me many opportunities to learn more about childbirth and how to support birthing families. Here was the risk that I took. As part of my final project in Human Services, I needed to identify a problem with my chosen field and come up with a solution. The problem I identified was that families in the area were unaware of all the support available to them. The solution I came up with was to host a baby fair where families could meet vendors such as lactation consultants, car seat safety professionals, and community support groups. This fair also gave all these vendors a chance to network with each other. The scope of this solution was way beyond what was required for the project, but I felt confident because of the support that I had to do such a big project. I ended up organizing a baby fair with 15 different vendors and over 40 families attending. Now here are the benefits. There was more than one benefit of this risk. The first benefit was that the impact of the fair was a positive one and helped our community in a meaningful way. Another benefit was the relationships I created throughout the experience. Not only did I form professional relationships with community partners, but I also strengthened my relationships with teachers here at the Academy. For example, Mr. Lipson was my English teacher at the time, and although he had nothing to do with the baby fair, he constantly checked in on my progress and came to support me on the day of the event. I did not know Ms. Hanson, Mr. Lindini, or Mr. Legge well before this project, but they were also there to show their support and appreciate the work that I did. And of course, Mrs. McGarvin, who was there to help with anything that I needed. So here are some things that I want to leave you with. There are opportunities here, so do your best to find them. and when you take advantage of them, know that your teachers and your community are here to support you. So don't be afraid to take a risk like I did. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lily. While we've become accustomed to our social studies speaker series on Thursdays, this week we have a special treat because the social studies speaker series is on a Tuesday. Who better to break that mold than Mr. Eaton, member of the social studies department and capstone teacher. He's here to speak with us about the Electoral College and its role in our elections. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Eaton.
Oh, nice. Thanks, buddy. All right. Give a nice applause to Mr. Ford for his help this morning. So 4 weeks from today, we're having an election in every state. Notice I didn't say a national election because there's no such thing, actually. So how we elect the president is an archaic idea, apparently. It's what I've heard up there while I'm sitting. People are saying it's archaic, or perhaps they're suggesting that I am, in which case maybe they're right. I want to give you a little context constitutionally. It's part of a larger system. As we all know, we have how many branches of government? Nice. All right. Our department has been doing its job. And we get them into office in different ways on purpose, right? In the representative area, Congress, the representatives are elected directly, and we meant to do that. They're supposed to be close to their constituents. Originally, hopefully you learned, the Senate was removed a little bit. They represent the state. So state legislatures used to elect the senators. We changed that in the progressive era. We allow the people of the state to elect them directly now. That was not the original intent. Judges, the judiciary, are appointed through a system where the president nominates and the Senate gets to say yes or no. And then we have the executive, the presidential election, which, as I suggest, and is true about constitutionally, is done in each state separately. It's not actually a national election. So Article 2 tells us that each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives. So, for example, Vermont has 2 senators and 1 representative, so we have 3 electoral votes. And notice it says each state shall appoint in a manner that they choose. This is why I suggest that we actually have state elections all over this country, but not a national election. We actually don't have a national election. Originally, Mr. Hamilton was explaining to the people about the Electoral College in Federalist 68. And you notice he tends to be verbose, so I highlighted for you some of his more important ideas in terms of why the Electoral College. A small number of persons selected by their fellow citizens from the general mass will be most likely to possess the information and discernment requisite to such complicated investigations. So the idea was electors would know what they were doing, and they would select somebody for president who would be the most appropriate, able person. Notice from among the general mass. So the idea was we wouldn't let the people elect the president directly because they may not know what they're doing. And in fact, he goes on to say, it was also peculiarly desirable to afford as little opportunity as possible for tumult and disorder. So you can see Mr. Hamilton, among others, did not necessarily think the masses could select the best possible candidate, so the Electoral College was created. However, as you may know, We get the opportunity to change what we do in the Constitution, not very often. There are only 27 amendments in over 230 years of the Constitution, but we do change when we feel like we've messed up. The Electoral College wasn't quite right at first. They didn't anticipate parties, for example. Political parties were something that came along afterwards, as you may well have learned. The problem with the parties was, if you chose for a vice president and a president, on the same ballot, the same number of votes, they tie, and a tie goes to the House of Representatives to decide by state. So we have the 12th Amendment that recognized parties. And it has the electors meeting in their respective states. The person with the greatest number of votes for president shall be president, and here's the key: if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. Actually, if you do the research and read the framers' ideas, they thought all along that the House of Representatives probably would end up voting most of the time because there wouldn't be a majority. So what do states do? I gave an example of Vermont. We are here in Vermont. Vermont Title 17, Section 2732 tells us how electors will meet in this state. Each elector shall vote for the candidate for president and vice president who are nominated by the same political party or organization that nominated the elector. So we are party conscious in the state of Vermont. In fact, if the elector refuses to present a ballot, presents an unmarked ballot, or presents a ballot marked in violation of subdivision 1 of this subsection C, yes, that's the way the legislature works, right, Mr. Beck? Then the elector's office is vacated. So if you don't vote for somebody who's an elector, if you're an elector and you don't vote for the person nominated by your party, your vote isn't counted in the state of Vermont. Your vote's thrown out because we say you violated the law. That's an important idea. Each state decides how they're going to do this, and this is how Vermont does it. We also changed the Electoral College as recently as the 23rd Amendment when the District of Columbia decided that they did not like paying taxes without representation, much like the Revolutionary War. And so 3 electors are given to the District of Columbia as part of the Electoral College. So we now have 538 electors around the country in different elections. Here's the current electoral map. In 4 weeks, we're going to have state elections. Mr. Beck, for example, is standing for the Senate here in the state of Vermont, and we'll also elect our electors, and according to our state law, those electors will be chosen by the party, and they will vote for the candidate who the party has nominated. So you can see there are a variety of electors, and you may hear in the news that the most important idea is for the candidates to focus on the battleground states. Battleground states are states where the vote is easily swayed one way or the other because the parties are very competitive in those states. And some of the examples you might see, Michigan with 15, Pennsylvania with 19, Arizona with 11, for example, down here North Carolina with 16, and Georgia with 16. Remember, the Constitution states that you have to have a majority. So if we do quick math, and we have 538 electors, we know exactly half is 269. So all the parties and the candidates' staff are scrambling to get 270 electors. If you don't get 270, and neither candidate gets 270, then the House of Representatives will decide. So that's a little primer on the Electoral College this morning. 4 weeks from today, we will have state elections. Don't let anybody tell you it's a national election, because it's not. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Eaton. Mr. Lenzini shared with you last week that this month's theme is school spirit. Sometimes that looks like bringing in metric tons of cardboard. Other times it's proudly singing the alma mater like our faculty alumni did yesterday. I'll offer you this morning that sometimes school spirit is making the most of opportunities that excite you. I trust that as sophomores, juniors, and seniors, you'll find many aspects of Spirit Week next week that will excite you. But I'm equally confident that, like Lily, you'll find opportunities here that excite you, or that, like Mr. Eaton, you'll find opportunities to share your passion and interests with others. And with that, I hope that you do good work today, St. Johnsbury Academy faculty. All right, seniors. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good day. Congratulations. Make it a great day, juniors. See you later, sophomores.